Hello, welcome.
How are you?
We are having instructions by VHF, by radio.
Yeah.
So they are spotting the ocean with the huge binoculars. With these instructions, we go directly to the exit.
Wait, is that?
And over there, more south, you can see a whale. It's a sei whale.
Oh my God! It's just it's just come up. It's
just come up. You can spray. You see?
Yeah. Hello and welcome back to Europe Rendezvous. What you see here is a marine protected area, and this is something that the Azores are very much in the vanguard of in the European Union. It's also a place of sustainable tourism, particularly watching whales and dolphins. And this is what we've been doing here with Miguel Cravino from Terra Azul. Miguel, hi.
Hello.
So your t-shirt says whale zone. It's worth saying that whales used to be hunted here, didn't they, before they became protected?
Nowadays, the Azores, the Azorean people give a very interesting message to the world that it's still possible to live from the whales, not by killing them, but for ecotourism, education and conservation. So whale watching based on education is something really important, because nobody can love something they don't understand. We want to integrate even more the ecotourism and marine protected areas to support this message that the Azores are giving to protect 30% by 2030, that now we want to achieve in 2027.
So you should be 3 years ahead of the EU targets.
Yeah, that's it.
Thank you so much, Miguel. Well, of course, the sea is absolutely beautiful today, but of course, it's not always like that. Hurricane Lorenzo wreaked havoc in the Azores in 2019. Luke Brown went to the island of Flores to see what reconstruction work is taking place there with the help of European funds.
(9:25 p.m. off the port of Lages on the island of Flores. Felipe Gomez is the harbour pilot, about to guide in a cargo vessel, one of only 3 monthly arrivals.
It's very, very important. If this ship doesn't come alongside, everything stops. We have no fuel for anything. We depend on it.
But docking has become very difficult since the night of the 2nd of October 2019, when Hurricane Lorenzo destroyed much of the harbour.
The waves came from here, and all of this was covered by the sea. Everything was destroyed. It was hard to believe and to recognize the harbor, because we never saw nothing like that.
250 kilometers from the central Azores Islands, Flores is one of the most isolated parts of all the EU's outermost regions. The port is a lifeline to the outside world.
This is the main engine of economy on the island. It's absolutely necessary, because it's a question of living here. If we don't do this construction, it will be impossible to live.
The harbour is to be rebuilt at a cost of 197 million euros, 85% coming from EU funds. For the municipal authorities, the alternative is bleak.
So it's not about the quantity of money, it's more about the people. It's about losing everyone. It's losing a bit of Azores when you have an island without any connection with the ocean.
The island and its 3,500 residents rely on EU cohesion funds. Since 2016, Flores has benefited from 187 cohesion projects worth more than 9 million euros.
A place like Flores, a place like Azores can be a place to live, a place to have a good quality of life, and without the European Union, that could be much more challenging.
The work on the port is due to end in 2030, 11 years after the hurricane. For the regional authorities, the contribution from the EU is the only way the project could be achieved.
This is called European solidarity. European solidarity is cohesion. We're very concerned about plans to change the distribution of cohesion funds. I hope there won't be any reduction in the funds.
While EU funds ensure the Azorean way of life is sustainable, that's not always translated into public recognition. At the last European elections, the abstention rate in the Azores reached 80%.
Hello. Nice to see you here in my island. Welcome.
Yeah, nice to see you not in the European Parliament, but on this beach. So with that report we just saw on Hurricane Lorenzo in mind, how do you think the Azores are adapting to these climate challenges?
So we need to bet more on storage, water storage, and the Commission has presented some strategy for that, so that's very welcome. We are betting on more resilience of our, not only the fishermen, but also the farmers, and all the infrastructures, the physical infrastructures that we are having. We are building with the best solutions.
I believe you were rapporteur on the role of cohesion funds in supporting the just transition.
Exactly.
How important is that transition in the Azores? Because of course it is this outermost region of the EU.
Exactly. It's complicated for us to invest in some cases because we don't have enough people to work, we don't have enough companies, we don't have the expertise, and we don't have enough money. We already tried and we are succeeding in this environmental and energy transition, and we are quite sustainable, but we still have a long way to go.
So you still need money and expertise. You're still lacking that here in the Azores.
Of course, we still need money because we are 9 islands dispersed. We have 600 kilometers from the beginning of the archipelago till the end of the archipelago, 1,500 kilometers from Lisbon. So it's quite difficult, challenging for the logistics. But I believe that since a few years ago until now, we are changing the view, we're changing the paradigm, because we are receiving, but at the same time we are giving to the European Union. Our geostrategic position, our link to the United States, to Canada, to Brazil, through our diaspora, the access to space that we are betting now in Santa Maria, the knowledge of the deep sea that we are investing a lot in Fayal. All of the islands have some kind of specificities. We are giving to the European Union the knowledge, the science, and of course, we receive, but we also give a lot.
Nonagon is the first science and technology park in the Azores, supporting around 30 innovative companies. It received more than 7 million euros from the European Regional Development Fund in the last financing period. The idea is to create a different kind of economy that's been lacking in these islands until now.
We have a very dependent region in terms of funding. We also see a lot of rent seeking here. What this means is a lot of projects really only exist to fulfill the conditions for funding. I think we've just been using the funds to conserve and sort of freeze the economy really in a rural model that is no longer very productive. It's not very competitive. We've been subsidizing this type of economy, being so dependent that one day when Europe needs to shift its priorities because it has a war, because it has competitiveness issues, because the global order is changing, a region like this becomes even desperate because it's been depending so long on funds.
And speaking of that strategic investment in the future, we're going to look into this Nonagon Innovation and Science Park.
Olá. Olá. Tudo bem? Tudo bem. Ana Vasconcelos, muito obrigada por nos receber.
Hello, I'm Georgian from France 24.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, welcome to SIMPA. SIMPA is a company that works in research and development of new ideas and new products based on materials, new materials. We are, I think, the biggest producer of milk in the country. We produce a lot of it. So with the big production, there's also some kind of waste or some milk that doesn't fit the quality parameters to go to the food chain business. And we can treat it and extract some elements from this milk and produce new natural polymers. We can, from here, purify and get what we call the main protein of milk, casein. So this protein it has a lot of great features and properties and biological activity. It's a very interesting protein.
Obviously, this place where we are, this innovation centre, is very much aimed at giving young people the skills for the future. But there are also a lot of young people leaving the Azores, about 1,000 every year. How would you deal with that?
We really need to think of this type of project. I think it's really the key or a good example of how we can bring youth back. And also set an example of how people can start up things here and not just think in terms of what is the EU funding available to do the type of project that I might want to do. We have a bigger market than the US. We have more inhabitants closer together than the US. We can't make the most of that market. So there's a lot more that can be done, and we really need to unlock and challenge the mindset that the EU has had for a long time and has fostered a really risk-averse continent.
Anna, thank you so much. And Luke Brown, our reporter, actually went to meet Azoreans who've been given incentives to stay on the island and see a long-term future for themselves here.
Practical class for these high school students on the island of Fayal. The School of the Sea covers every aspect of maritime education, rapid repairs, ship mechanics, fire safety at sea, even language skills, all vital for a career on the ocean.
Here in the middle of the Atlantic, it's not very easy to find good career opportunities. So the School of the Sea is a good option because it helps me specialize.
The school boasts these state-of-the-art simulators at a cost of €350,000 to ensure the students are ready for anything the high seas can throw at them, from extreme weather to emergency situations.
We have more than 1,000 variables that we can change the behavior, so to put some stress on the students.
The school opened 5 years ago. EU regional development funds provided €5.8 million for the new building and equipment. Now it reaches students across the Azores' 9 islands to ensure everyone has a fair opportunity.
Before the school exists, they have to go to the mainland to have some training. It was a huge problem, because what we give right now gives the international training. They can go wherever they want to go because we are certificated. EU funds give all this community the opportunity to change their lives, to do good things, to be a success.
Jobs at sea needn't be the only outlook. Alexander Pereira is studying biotechnology at the University of the Azores in São Miguel. Aged 20, he doesn't want to move to mainland Europe. He's part of an EU program to help young entrepreneurs contribute to the local economy.
So we need to create new jobs, we need to create new ideas to maintain these young people on the islands, or otherwise we want to lose. That is happening right now.
The ATLEAK program received €2.6 million from the ERDF. It helps 300 young people from Ireland, France, Spain and Portugal to come up with their own solutions to economic problems that are common all along the EU's Atlantic coast.
We all share the same challenges, which is we fear that our young people are going to move abroad because of the lack of job opportunities. We are all part of the European Union, and this is part of the EU values, that it is trying to provide the most of opportunities that exist in the world for everyone.
The Azores population is steadily declining, falling 4% in the decade to 2021. The challenge is to convince younger generations that they do have a professional future in the middle of the Atlantic.
So, Mariana, this is one of your happy cows.
Yes, exactly. Me and my farm, we are part of a program. This program consists on environmental care, regenerative agriculture, paying good the producers, and also certifying that the cows, they are 365 days outside.
So what about the European Union's involvement?
All of this would be impossible without the European Union help. For example, we have the ERDF that helps us with around 80% for the funding of the machinery that is necessary to farming here in the Azores. And besides that, we have another funds that the European Union helps us with that regard with the corn production. All of that, they help us.
So how important is milk production from this island for Portugal?
It's absolutely vital. This island survives basically on farming, especially the milk production. 35% of all Portugal's consumption of milk comes from this island alone.
Okay, curveball question. Mariana, what about the Mercosur agreement? Are you worried about international competition?
For me, personally, I'm not worried about competition because the thing that we need to worry about is the quality of our products. If we guarantee that our product is super high quality and that our animals, they are on a good well-being place, we don't have to worry about nothing else. E quantos litros por dia é que essa vaca está a produzir na semente?
Entre 30 e 35 litros por minuto.
Well, I don't want to milk my metaphors too much, so I'll just say goodbye for this edition of Europe Rendezvous. You can see the whole show on our website, france24.com, and some nice clips from our experiences here in the Azores on all our social platforms. See you next time.